Whoa. Readjust. There we go. Okay. So this is going to be more like this. Hey guys, I'm just going to tilt the camera for a second. I think the lighting needs to adjust. Hi. I got a bit of a white blowout there at first when I started. Thanks, Patty. We are gonna jam-pack this full of swoops today. I'm so excited. Oh yeah, and I need to start with... Oh yeah, we're starting with yellow today. Hi, Sue. What's new and exciting, you guys? It's good to see ya. I have the neon one sitting over here. We started the other night. This one's going to be a lot of setting it aside and letting parts dry. Doesn't look quite as much like carrots anymore. Still a little bit, but not as much. And then I'm going to put yellow top dots on top of these orange ones once they dry. And we're going to build out some swoops from here and then add a little bit more detail. And then this one is going to be done. I am going to write this up as a pattern and we'll see. It's just a matter of when I'll get that done. But it is going to come out as a pattern soon. Maybe hopefully in the next week or so. Same with this one down here. This is actually just a modification of my Phoenix pattern. It's available on my website and it looks like this. So if you want a step-by-step pattern on painting this design, that is available for download on my website. So I took this and just kind of modified it to start creating this candle holder design. So I'm really excited to see how it goes. Oh, thank you, Jeannie. Oh, thank you, Patty. It's fun when they work out. The color scheme that I'm using on the neon one was the color scheme that we used in the Dot Mandela Inspiration Deck group to do this incense holder. I still need to varnish it, and I'm still trying to decide what I'm going to do on the edge here. And then this was the same color scheme that we used on the bus, too. So this is definitely a color scheme we're going to be going back to because we're going back to the bus in the new year. And I can't seem to get enough of it. I love it so much. I can't wait. All right, so let's get to painting, hon. Hi, Jan. I have my mascot sitting here hanging out with me, and Audrey's still losing her damn mind over those eyeballs. It's so funny to watch her. Oh, I gotta tilt it this way a bit. There we go. So this is the Phoenix one that we started the other day. And then this one is the other one. Ooh, that's fantastic. Thank you, Mawa. That's I'm so excited for you. So the incense holder was that design, and then this is the candle holder. So we're going to be adding a whole bunch of swoops down here on the bottom, but it's such a hard one to hold on to. I'm holding it upside down, and where am I going to set it and all that sort of stuff, that it's going to be a slow going. So it's going to be like do all of one side of the swoops, let them dry. Do all of the other side of the swoops, let them dry. So because of that, I have we are very, very likely, or let's say possibly, not likely, we'll be maybe starting another one tonight as well, or at least maybe picking colors. But we are going to work, because I think this one's going to be the same. We're going to be doing all one side of the swoops and then waiting. And I think this might be a time when I might do all colors on one side and then let them dry. I think that might be a good plan for both of these. Instead of just doing all of the one color and then letting it dry, if I do yellow, orange, red, purple, yellow, orange, red, purple, and kind of keep going that way, I think that might work out really well. I need to add a little bit more gold in here before we get started, though, now that I'm seeing that. So we're going to do a little swoop that I don't think I've done before. You do see chocolate, Sarah. It's still here. I'm very proud of myself for not having eaten it all yet. But that was because I was a little sidetracked by Frosted Cherry Pop-Tarts, which are gone, and they were so good, Jan. Thank you so much. Hi, Christina. How you doing? I am so grateful to you, Christina, for that video that you put up about appropriation. It helped me. I knew I understood the difference, but I did not have the knowledge to articulate it in any way, and I'm so grateful to you for that post because it helps me significantly. So thank you. How are you doing, Sarah? What's new and exciting? And what about you, Christina? Are you painting tonight? Totally. I'm so grateful to you for putting that up. Thank you so much. Hi, Sarah. Good to see you too. We got a bunch of, all the Sarahs are here. Yay. There's a bunch of people here today. Hi, 40 people. All right. And we're no longer painting ornaments. So exciting. So exciting. Designing your shop on paper. Very nice. How's it coming? Good day. Oh, your dad's 90th birthday. That's so fantastic. That's lovely. I hope it was a great day. I hope it was a fun celebration. I don't know what the heck I'm doing here, so bear with me for a minute. I gotta figure out what I'm doing. I'm just going in here all willy-nilly, and I need to figure that out. I don't want to talk about it that good, eh? That's why these things take so long to do, right? Because you can't just sit down and get it done. You have to be able to walk away from it. It's so tough. Well, I'm sending you lots of love. And I'm here if you need an ear. Thank you. So these are the colors that I did on my Phoenix design. Ta-da! I have a sticker. I haven't listed the sticker on my website yet, and that was the other post that you put up where I saw it, and I'm like, holy shit, that's a lot of stickers. I only have 2 that I haven't done. How the hell did she do that? But you also kicked my ass because I need to get this in gear too. This is one of my downloadable patterns. It's available on my website. So I took this pattern and I am kind of modifying it for the candle holder. We all fell in love with this color combo when I was painting it, and I have been so excited to get back to it. And a quick little sneak peek for the new year, I'm going to be doing a teapot in this color scheme as well. So exciting. Drowning in stickers. Yeah, you had so many. I couldn't get over that. Couldn't get over that. That was one hell of a job. I remember making noises as I was watching you going, oh, that's a big job. Oh, that's so big. That's a lot. All right, so we're going to try this again. I feel like I need to take my pencil and just draw it out. I feel like I want to do that. Yeah, I like that. Okay. So let's see what happens. I'm going to try and zoom you in, and I'm going to try really, really hard. I'm going to have to move you this way a bit. Yeah. Every time I see a sale on, so that I can get like 50 stickers or something like that, right? And actually be able to buy enough that's worth my while to have in the shop. I just put them in a box, or I look at them and say, oh, they're so pretty. Sometimes I even film an unboxing of them. And like I have an unboxing for that one and another sticker that I have. It's still sitting in my drafts from about 3 months ago. It's hard. This is not going to be enough paint. Nope, this isn't going to work. So, what am I gonna do? What are we gonna do? We're going to put the paint lid back on properly so it doesn't dry out a whole bottle of paint. Okay, I think I know what we're going to do. Hello in Southern California. It's lovely to see ya. Andy's watching zombies, so I'm just going to be watching no volume. Okay, no worries. We'll be here. All right. I think I'm just going to go for a nice tiny line of walking dots. I am quickly being re-educated on the difference between painting on gypsum and painting on ceramics. I've been spoiled for a very long time. There we go. Now the lid's on properly. Been spoiled for a very, very long time. All right, so we're going to do this instead. Nope, we're going to do this instead. Yep, that's better. Yeah, I like that. That's good. So tell me about your day, you guys. How have you been? What's new and exciting? I'm sorry I haven't been posting a lot here on TikTok lately or anywhere. I am building up a bank of stuff to show you. But I've been forgetting to turn the camera on an awful lot lately. Avoiding, I don't know what the real answer is. But we'll get into a new groove. So what did you guys get up to today? Sarah went to a party. Christina's been working on her store. What'd you do today, Patty? Did you have a good day? Barb? Is Barb here? Did I see Barb here? Oop. Oh, I'm so sorry, Patty. It's gotta make for long days. Sending you so much love. I hope you feel better soon. What about you, Sue? Were you able to do any painting today? This particular gold is Folk Art. This is a multi-surface gold. I love this gold. Oh, that's close. Sorry. This one is Folk Art 14 karat gold multi-surface. This one is a really, really nice because it's really, really shiny. But I also really like, this is my other go-to, Deco Art Crafters Acrylic in Spun Gold. I love this gold. Love, 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 love this gold. Thank goodness for dollar stores. And then the other ones, so the red, orange, and the yellow are Deco Art Americana, and then the purple is a mixture of, the purple is a mixture of mostly Folk Art Matte in Violet Pansy, and with a little bit of African Violet Deco Art Crafters Acrylic again. This one's a very plum color, and this is more on the lavender side, and I wanted it to kind of be a little bit of mix of both and on the darker side, but I didn't want it too plummy. Does that make sense? Been sorting and putting Christmas decorations up. Oh, that's so fun. Oh, I'm looking forward to doing that again soon. We're not doing it this year, and we didn't do it. I haven't decorated for a few years. I'm looking forward to doing it again. We're waiting until we get some stuff done around here, but I'm so glad you had a day getting that stuff done. That's fun. Didn't get any painting done. Oh, very nice. Sometimes that's just as nice, eh? To see a whole bunch of stuff lined up to be ready to paint. Sending you lots of love, Sue. How do you do these? I see them on here all the time and want to try to make one. So this is painting and using dotting tools. My recommendation for you, there's a lot of information on how to get started. The first thing I'm going to tell you about is I have a YouTube channel that has a tutorials playlist. I apologize, it's really poorly organized, but if you scroll through, you'll see a couple of beginners ones, and you will see one that is about tools. So there's a whole bunch of step-by-step tutorials where I did 2-hour lives like this where we'd walk through different projects. So lots of those on my YouTube channel. That's linked in my bio. The other thing I want to say is you don't need fancy dotting tools to do this. Wooden skewers, drill bits, the rounded ends of paintbrushes, sharpened pencils, dull pencils, wooden dowels, anything round and flat, the bottom of a paint marker, anything like that that you can find, you can use. You don't have to spend a ton of money on it. Dollar store paints and canvases and everything work well also. I would recommend when you're starting though, I would recommend wood as opposed to canvas. The fibers in the fabric of the canvas can get in the way of and impact the shape of your dots because it's not a super flat surface. There is a prep that you can get called gesso to put on the canvas to smooth it out for you, but if you are a beginner and don't want to invest that money because it's a more expensive prep, it's not super expensive, it's about $15-20, but we've all had those times where $15-20 is a lot of money, right? So you don't need that. If you paint on wood, make sure you give it a really, really good sanding and then give it a couple of coats of paint. Okay? My name on YouTube is Mandala Love Affair Canada. Thank you, Christina. Isn't it beautiful? I'm really happy with these colors. It feels very, very regal and rich. We're going to do gold top dots on top of these purple ones as well. I'm so happy with it. I'm so glad you like it. From the Color Guru. And there's lots of incredible artists that do this. Christina Lee, who's on here, is someone who does this art form as well. I learned so much from her when I got started. There are so many incredible artists, and the point with that is absorb the content. If you find you're really interested in it, watch a bunch of different artists. Everybody's got different techniques. Everybody's got different comfortable ways of doing things. And it's really important to know that there's no right or wrong way of doing this. Do it so that you enjoy it. Everything else is something that you can choose. You know, which skills do you want to develop? Which ones do you not find as enjoyable? Whatever those things are. But you don't need... The more exposure you can get to a bunch of different techniques, it can help you find different ways to be comfortable doing all of this. You're most welcome. I go live 6 to 8 hours a week, so feel free to ask questions and stuff. So I like to be able to hang out with you guys, and more than happy to answer questions that you may have. It's super fun. It's super meditative. And just follow the fun. Follow the fun. I use canvases, but my dots are never round. That's what I found with canvases too, because those fibers are so intrusive. I have found that, 2 or 3 coats of gesso have made a big difference though in sanding in between, that I've ended up with a really smooth surface where I was able to get nice flat and round dots. It was good to see you, love. Yes, there's a lot of videos there to watch. A lot of videos there to watch. There is no rhyme or reason. There's no titles. There's no descriptions on them. This is the bare bones beginner YouTube channel where I've taken previous live videos and put them up there, as well as just some of those tutorials. So please bear with me as I develop that further. Day was good. Thanks, Patty. I went up and saw Dad today. That was really nice to see him. And got a bunch of errands done this afternoon. Had like 6 places that I stopped at on my way home from seeing Dad. Left around 9 o'clock this morning. Got home at, around 9:30, I guess. Got home at around 3 and passed out for a little while. Fed myself and then passed out for a little while. Got a little computer work done and I'm so happy to be sitting here and getting to paint with you guys. Hi, Heather. So I'm currently using, this is Folk Art Multi-Surface paint, but my other paints, the red, the purple, yellow, and orange, they are all acrylic paints. The red, orange, and yellow are Deco Art Americana, and the purple is a mix between a Deco Art Crafters acrylic and Folk Art matte acrylics. I don't have to add anything to them because these paints are pretty good right out of the bottle. They don't tend to need to be thinned down at all. Now, if you're using heavier bodied paints, then adding pouring medium would be helpful for that in a lot of cases. Thank you for the 1,000 likes so far, you guys. That's so cool. Thank you, Vibrant. I appreciate that. All right, I'm going to try and get you guys up on an angle here, and we are... No, I think I do need to go down this way. You're welcome, Heather. I do my absolute best to answer. What ends up happening a lot of the times, though, is that when I'm painting, I can't see the computer, my computer screen, my cell phone screen. So what I'll do is I'll paint for a little while, and then I'll pause every once in a while to come back and catch up on the comments. So if you do leave a comment or ask a question, and it takes me a minute or two to get back to you, just know I'm not ignoring you, I promise. It's just gonna, I literally just can't see my screen. So typically on my lives, we paint for a little bit and then I catch up on comments and answer questions, and then I paint for a little bit again and just lather, rinse, repeat. So just bear with me if you do ask a question or leave a comment and I don't answer right away. Please know I will scroll back. So I'm getting ready for a bunch of pop-ups in December that I'm going to be doing at a local store where I rent some shelf space to sell my stuff right now. So all of this stuff that I'm making right now is inventory for those pop-up markets. So I'm super excited. I've got about 60 ornaments to take with me. And I've got some mugs there, and I'm going to have the incense holders. I've got keychains there. I'm going to be taking all kinds of stuff. And what I decided to do today is that I'm going to actually take one of our TV trays with me, and I'm going to, in case it's not busy, like if it's quiet, then I'm going to do some painting while I'm there. And I'm going to take my arm and everything to hold my phone, so I might even be able to go live while I'm there. How do you like the live? I have no idea how to use this app. So I find it really easy to go live on here. It's one of the ways that I stay active in the app. So in order for my content to get pushed out to other to other people for people to see it, I need to be active on the app. And because I have been slouching so badly on creating actual content, these lives help me an awful lot. And it's the best way for me to connect with you guys and meet you guys and spend time with you guys. It's probably one of my favorite things that I get to do. Oh, sorry. Sarah, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I totally read that question wrong. Oh, shit. Thank you. Thank you, Sarah, for telling Sarah how to do that. Shit. I'm going to paint now, okay? I really like the live, Sarah. Thank you for asking. Oh, shit. Well, sounds about right. Never a dull moment, folks. Never a dull moment. So we are starting with yellow. Let's just paint, shall we? Well, that's a nice long one. That looks good. Total avoidance and redirection, folks. That's what this is here today. That's awesome. Thanks for laughing with me. Oh, shit. All right. So what else is new today, you guys? Midway through our week. I feel like time is going by so fast lately. Hard to keep up sometimes. Oh, sorry. This tool that I'm using, this little tiny tool that I'm using, is a puncture tool. I got in a set of 2 tools at Dollar Tree. It comes as a set of a puncture tool and a scoring tool. So these little pink guys here, you can see the one on the right is thicker than the one on the left. The one on the right is the scoring tool, and the one on the left is the puncture tool. And that puncture tool is the one that I use to help shape my swoops and smooth out some rough edges as needed. Happens all the time. Do not be hard on yourself when you're learning swoops. If you need to go in and touch up the edges, do it. I do it all the time. Try and be kind to yourself where that's concerned. I know, it's so gross that it's the 1st of December already. Not that I can figure out what it feels like or what I think it should be, but I feel like I just got used to it being 2022. And now it's not again. Do you celebrate New Year's, you guys? Do you come up with a New Year's resolution? I've never had one that stuck. So I kind of gave up on making them. But I always find it so interesting and inspiring when I see people following through. Because I certainly haven't. All right, just had to take a quick drink. Now, and I completely went against the plan that I said I was going to do, didn't I? Oh well, that's all right. We'll switch to another one. If we have 3 on the go, that's just more exciting. once I'm done all these yellow, the reason I'm going to have to put this aside is because when I need to put my hand down to do the swoops, now I might be able to figure out a way to do it in a different direction, but we'll see. So we're going to be using all 4 colors in here, slowly making the swoop shorter and shorter until we get down to the top of the purple, or to the top of the red. And then we'll figure out a way to finish that off at the end, probably with, I think, maybe with the purple dot, maybe. We'll see. No. Don't enjoy New Year's? Feels like just another day to me. Had the same for the last few years, but they never happened. I totally feel that. Yeah, it really has flown by. Hi, Ms. Ritzy. How you doing? It's good to see ya. Over the holiday season, I know there's lots of people who don't celebrate Christmas or have quiet Christmases and might like to get together to paint. So I will be going live on Christmas Day, Christmas Eve, maybe Boxing Day too, which is December 26th, sorry. And I'll be going live on New Year's Eve. So if you're around and want to come hang out on one of those nights, maybe those are the swearing lives where we just really throw all caution to the wind. All right, so I don't trust in my ability to do swoops on this while the paint is wet. So this is what we are gonna do. We are gonna take this one. Oh, I love it though. I'm so excited to see it done. That's so exciting. And we're gonna put that out of the way and let's take a look at, no, those green swoops are still pretty wet. So let us come up with a plan for a new candle holder. So I had another color combo in mind and I'm just trying to remember what it was. Oh, maybe we should do that one. Maybe? I'm thinking, sorry. Oh, that's what we're gonna do. Okay, we are going to... Okay, I'm gonna get you to vote between 2 color combos that I've done here. Which one do you want me to start with? Because what I'm decided I think I'm going to do is I've got 2 more candle holders prepped. I will do one with the blue and one with the pink and green. So let me know your vote of which one I should do next. Ooh, beach colors. Oh, thank you, Sarah. We got 1 vote for the blues, 2 votes for the blues. Hi, Elise. How you doing, love? It's good to see ya. You snuck in. You snuck in and we're being quiet. 2 for blues. We're going to keep going with the blues. 3 for blues. Blue, blue. Sounds like blue to me. All right, so now I'm going to try and find the paints that I used. One of them is this Art Alchemy paint that I was spoiled, and Sharon sent me a gift of these paints. So we are going to play with these a little bit That's the metallic that I used in there. And then I used a silver, and we've got some white in there and a couple colors of teal. So I'm going to check my little paint pots and see if I still have those colors already mixed up. Let's see if I did myself any favors. Let's see if I did myself any favors at all. So I apologize, I can't see the screen on the phone for sure now. I feel like... Ow! That didn't feel good. No. That one? That's one of them. Okay. Found one. These are all old paint pots that I have been using over the last couple of months. And I feel like we should add in more. No, we shouldn't. No, we're not going to mess with it. I need the dark teal. So this is glitter or sparkly. This is matte. And then the other one is going to be a satin as well. So we're going to... Is it that one? No, it's not that one. We'll play with that a little bit. So... Nope, it's not that one. Nope, not that one. I have an idea for what I'd like to do to take care of all of my paint pots in the new year. But I'm nowhere near ready to implement it now. So let's look in here and see if there's a little bit more. I don't think there is. 99% of these need to be put back into a container of paint and then cleaned out, and then we can move on with life. That's how I feel about most of these paints. They are all going to go back into paint containers if and where possible, and we'll go from there. But anyways, that is not going to work. So, any others? No. Okay, so now I need to find this dark teal, and I want to find this teal as well, and see if that's the right color. I feel like this one might be actually the right color. I don't think that's the same. No, this one's definitely lighter. All right, so we might just get new paint pots for this. And I will come back to the comments in a minute, I promise. I just want to see. That one's a really, really dark teal. That must have been. Maybe it was this one. Maybe it was this one. But it can be this one. All right, so we're going to keep it matte. All right, so we're going to keep this out as inspiration. We'll bring this in here. We'll keep that out there. I'm going to grab a few paint pots, and then we will... Oh, and there's the silver, or the nickel that I used. And I also used pearl white a little bit, so we'll keep that there also. I'm not gonna draw all the lines or everything that's on this design. I'm gonna just create a design with these colors. And I feel like it's gonna be a lot of swoops. And we'll add just some of the little silver dots, just like on that one, to make it kind of go together. So I'm gonna grab a couple paint pots. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hi, Audrey. I woke Audrey up and I just got the stink eye. Sorry, baby. You alright? She's not happy with me. All right. So 2 more seconds and then I will bring that phone back down so that I can talk to you guys. And we will get some paints ready. All right. Let's come back down here. Hello, hello. Blues, blues, blues. All right, we were all in agreement. Perfect. It's the only way you can be sneaky and take the opportunity where you can, eh? Yeah, I thought about doing that. Just closing my eyes one day and grabbing a bunch of colors and just seeing what kind of comes out from them. That might be something. We might do that on a live one of these days. That could be fun. I started with this one because I wanted to do the Seed of Life. And then I wanted to do another one, so I drew it out and just did it in completely different colors. The Mermaid Sparkle is this one. Mermaid Sparkle. If you want to take a screenshot. So I'm going to use Mermaid Sparkle. I'm going to use Laguna. I'm going to use Folk Art Matte in teal. Craftsmart Multi-Surface Premium Ultra Bright Metallics in nickel. And then I have, it is Craftsmart Pearl White Multi-Surface. Probably very little of that, but we'll see what we can do here. All right, so nickel. When I go through the exercise of emptying out a lot of those bottles, I'm going to start doing some paint tests, because if it's a matte finish, I'll know that it's not a multi-surface. And if it's a satin finish, I'll know that it is a multi-surface, because I don't have any satin finishes in regular paint. The metallics is where it gets a little iffy. So when in doubt, if I'm unsure of whether the metallic is a multi-surface or not, I'll put it in a regular acrylic bottle, just because the metallic isn't going to change the finish of the paint. But if I accidentally add regular acrylics to multi-surface, then that could impact the paint adhering to the surface that I'm painting on, right? So that's kind of my thought process around that. All right. Laguna. Get in there. Good thing I'm going to Michael's again later this week, because I'm running out of some good colors that I need to stock up on. Going back, I'm shopping for Sue. The square's fun, eh, Heather? Yeah, it's one that I'm going to be playing with a lot. I've got 3 more of these wood panels drawn up with guidelines ready to go. I've kind of decided that one of them is going to be the one that I take with me to my pop-ups to paint if it's not a super busy time. I'll sit and paint a little bit while I'm there. Now see how thick this is? I am going to add a tiny bit of a Deco Art paint, I think, to try and thin it down just a skosh. Actually, no, we're going to work with it. It's swoops. We're going to be fine. And it's settling down all right. All right, so we'll stick with that. And now this paint is fairly watery. Hi, Jackie. It depends on the type of paint. So if you use metallic multi-surface, totally good. Now, one thing that I have learned from my friend Jenna, J Grons here on TikTok, is that, and from a bunch of you guys who come to the lives all the time have confirmed this, is that Deco Art has, it's called Duraclear High Gloss Varnish. And Jenna actually uses that over top of regular acrylic paints on her ornaments. So you don't have to use multi-surface paints. I'm going to be experimenting with that next year myself. I'm super freaking excited about it with the Duraclear gloss. But yeah, I hope that helps. I'm doing good, Jackie. Thank you for asking. Hi, Christine. You made it. So we are taking the colors from this and we're going to put it on a candle holder. We're going to get started here. So I'm going to put my little thing in there. I use that to hold my compass so I can draw some guidelines. So I'm just going to close up these paints so I don't do something goofy like knock them over and spill them everywhere. Hi, Sharon. How about you, Jackie? How are you doing? How's it going, Sharon? It's good to see ya. And how was your day, Christine? Let us know how you're doing. Right. Okay, so I've got this. I've got this. So I've got a flexible stencil from Happy Dotting Company. I apologize. I'm going to move you guys up here for a minute because I have to lean kind of right over top of this to see what I'm doing. So I'm looks pretty good, I think. Pretty close anyway. All right, so I'm just gonna draw some lines here just to help get us started, and then I'm gonna grab my compass and I'm gonna sharpen this pencil and I'm gonna draw some circular guidelines going around. I could do that with this stencil. I could use these guidelines around, but because the stencil doesn't lay perfectly flat, even though it's a curved surface, I feel more comfortable using the compass. I just have to find it. There we go. All right, so when I'm doing this, I want to make sure that my pencil is really, really sharp. And I need to loosen this and then adjust my length according to where the pencil's actually touching. All right. Ooh. Are you in line with that? Yes, okay. Oops. Oh, I didn't tighten my pencil enough. That's all right. It's just for an idea. And then to get on the sides, if you just drop your pencil and then push it against the edge, it'll be a little bit of a wider line, but it'll allow you to get a line down on the side a little bit. So I've got those 3 lines now. So we're good to go. All right, let me see what comments I missed here. Good day. What's Nordic SPA today? Oh, Nordic Spa. Jesus, I'm not doing good at understanding the basics of the English language today. I'm really sorry. That sounds lovely, though. You're okay? Just ate some pizza. Oh, I love pizza. Pizza's so good, Jackie. What kind of pizza did you get? All right. So I'm just going to gently erase the guidelines. I want them to still be there, but I don't want the wax buildup to be on the surface, because if I do, when I paint over it, it's going to pinch in the sides of the dots. So I'm just really lightly going over it with my eraser. I gotta stop going outside right before the lives, eh? Ooh, triple cheese. Lovely. Cheese is great. Life is better with cheese. All right, here we go. Right, Patty? I don't even know. stay floating in the pool all day. Oh, that sounds so wonderful. I am incredibly jealous. That sounds fantastic. All right. I feel like we got to start off with a couple rows of the 3 different teal colors. So I think we're going to start with the darkest and move our way to lightest. But she's on everything. That's awesome. Oh, I'm so glad you had that, Christine. That sounds like a great way to spend the day. All right, so we're going to start here. Now I'm going to see if I can zoom in. My name's Jamie. Nice to meet you, Jackie. Hello, Kimberly. How you doing? It's good to see ya. All right, so I'm going fairly small, but I think it's going to make a really, really pretty first line of dots. Even though they're marked, I still go through and do the north, south, east, west, and then divide the spaces in half. I think I know the pattern you're going for. Saw it on Pinterest. For this design, and then we're gonna do, so just like on this one here, we started with the purple, red, orange, and yellow. I'm gonna do the dark teal, medium teal, sparkly teal, and then we'll start to build out the design there. I'm so sorry, I don't understand. I didn't understand that right, I don't think, Heather. I'm sorry. I'm feeling much better, Kimberly. Thank you, love. It's nice to meet you too, Jackie. Welcome. Heather, I'm completely sure that I did not understand what you meant by the pattern that you saw on Pinterest. My brain is not going there. And you know what? I understand now what it is that I talk so much that I don't even listen to myself, so I forget what I've said by the time your comments come through, I think. I did? Okay. I think that's my problem. I don't pay attention to what I'm talking about, so that when there's a delay, I have no idea what's going on. Oh, welcome to the shit show. Oops. So I want to leave enough space between the dots in this row, just like I did in the dots on the purple, red, orange, and yellow one, because I want to be able to put little detail dots in there. So I'm going to first check and see. Yeah, I think I do want to stick with just one in between each. I could try and squeeze 2 dots in between each here, but I think it would look squeezed in and a little tight. Maybe. It might be all right, but it'll let the detail kind of stick out a little bit. Ooh, that was a lot of paint. It should have been a silent live for me. No talking for me. Is anybody else doing any Christmas markets or sales? if you do of any kind of art, if you have a small business making things, you're welcome. Please share your stuff in the comments so that we can check out your work. It's been like that here too. I'm in a rehab to get stronger and called bingo and lost your voice. Oh no. Oh Heather, I'm sending you lots of love. You're trying to sell your stuff? That's awesome. Have one this Saturday and Sunday this weekend? Fantastic, Elise. No, I don't use a hairdryer in between. I like it to dry fairly slowly because there's a lot of paint on there, and with the thicker the paint, the faster it dries means an increased risk that the paint's going to crack. These dots are all the same color. You posted on your TikTok. Fantastic. Keep an eye on Shopify. They have good sales every once in a while. I ended up going with Shopify at a time where they just happened to be having a sale on, where I was able to get like 3 or 6 months for $29. No, like I think I got 3 or 6 months free maybe. Or it was one low price for the 6, like pay for one, get 6 months or something like that. Oh, nice. I'll have to go take a look. There we go. Just followed you. I don't know how I wasn't following you before. I'm waiting for mine to come. I'm going to attempt 2 ornaments. Nice. That's going to be awesome. I'm using tools from Happy Dotting Company. So going to the medium teal now. I get lazy and I don't clean my tool off enough, and then I wonder why my dots aren't all the same size. You want to make sure you're cleaning off your tool after every couple of dots. Perfect world scenario, maybe after every dot, but it depends on how comfortable you are with different loads of paint, right? But kind of keep that in mind. If your dots start to change size, and the first question is, ask yourself, when did you clean your tools off last? Done, done, done. I'm going to go check it out, Kimberly. I'm excited. Started playing with mugs. Yay! Done some boxes too, and you're loving it. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. That makes me so happy. So try that first. If you're having an issue with the dot sizes all being the same, clean off your tool more often. Don't be afraid to clean off your tool after every single dot, if you need to. Right? And be totally okay that if you're lazy like me, lazy in a good way, because we're just easygoing. If you're easygoing like me and you don't remember to clean your tools off, or you're stubborn and you try to persist without it, then just kind of be okay with there might be some dots you have to remove and repaint again, depending on how they turn out, right? It's always a risk. Hi, Anya. And go slow. Yes. Pressure matters. Paint thickness matters. Take your time. It's 100% not a race. Perfect world is when you get to kind of almost create a rhythm, right? Like dip and dot and dip and dot at whatever speed that is. But yes, if your dots aren't turning out the way that you want them to, 100% recommend just go a little bit slower and take your time. Mm-hmm. I think it would be one of the fun things about dotting with brushes is being able to, kind of continue forward a lot faster because you wouldn't have to be cleaning it off as often. But I know nothing about dotting with brushes, but that's what I imagine. Like, wouldn't it be cool? And always remember that it doesn't have to be perfect, right? The beauty of some of these designs is that they can camouflage for us and help things look a little more symmetrical than they are, a little more the same size than they actually are. It's the beauty of this art form for that, right? Ah, hi Cynthia. How you doing, love? All right, so now we're going with Bright Shiny. I'm going to zoom out a little bit there. I feel like the closer I was zoomed in, the more overexposed it was, the image was, like almost like it was getting too much lighting. So we'll try this for a couple minutes. I find that I have to be aware of what music I'm playing in the background. When I'm painting, I need it to be usually light, happy, or familiar stuff because I follow the mood of the music an awful lot and the speed of the music an awful lot. So I find I have to be hyper aware of when a song comes on, I have to know quickly kind of what speed it is and how it's going to come together. Because, I have to kind of recognize that quickly in case I need to skip it if it's too fast. All right, so now we are going to go to... How do I want to do that? Do I want to fill in this row? Or all right. This is what we're going to do. We are going to do a large dark reverse swoop. All right, let me scroll back. Yeah, different size tool. Exactly. 3 a.m. Oh my goodness, how are you still standing? Or maybe you're not. Always remember we all have different skill levels. Yes, exactly. Never going to be two the same, and you don't want there to be, right? You want to be able to be unique and have your own piece, and that's what makes it so beautiful, right? Are the tools you're using better than the acrylic? So I love this tool set from Happy Dotting Company. The other ones that I use are DIY mandala stones, and I like them both. Like, I didn't feel the need to get rid of my DIY when I got the Happy Dotting Company, and I kind of use them interchangeably pretty quickly. So I really like them both. I do like the feel of these ones in my hands when I'm doing a lot of repetitive stuff, like really long and large pieces. I would use these ones more than these, because these ones I find I When I hold my pencil when I'm writing, I hold my pencil really, 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 really tight. And I do mimic that with this because it feels so much like a pencil with the DIY mandala stones. But with the Happy Dotting Company, the triangle shape, I feel like I can not hold it quite as tight. So I find that, some of the numbness that our hands get when we're doing that repetitive motion over and over again, I find that it doesn't bother me quite as much, which is nice. It's mesmerizing. Oh, that's so nice to hear. Thank you so much. I have been doing this for almost 4 years now. March, April, well, maybe February. I feel like it was February 2019 when I started drawing mandalas. I don't think I was doing as much painting then, but I might have been. So yeah, almost 4 years now. That's crazy. I'm going to have to take a look at when my first post was on social media and see what that date was and celebrate that anniversary. It's time for you to upgrade your tools. The DIY, I will always still recommend them. They have been an awesome set of tools to work with for a very, very, very long time. And I want to continue using them, and I do very regularly. I find that I've got favorite size tools for each set. And which ones I kind of like. And I've never consciously sat and thought about why I do that. I think it's familiarity with the size. When I know I want a certain size dot, I feel confident to grab the DIY and know what that size is. I'm not as confident with that yet with the Happy Dotting Company because I haven't had them as long. That was a good one. All right. So, oh, that's so kind of you. Thank you so much. Practice, practice, practice. Anybody can do it. Anybody. All right, so we are going to do some shaped swoops from here coming out this way. So you know what? Yes, we're going to start here. And I'm going to try and zoom in a little bit more. Let's see if I can do that. See how that works. Thanks. I think I'll buy them next year. Yeah. Yeah, that can be really tough. Go with what feels the best in your hands, right? And it's definitely worth trying new tools. Always worth trying new tools. Now... No, I feel like I want to go big. Let's go big. Let's go like really big. We're going to go really big. Big, 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 big. Isn't that a commercial? Okay, so I'm going to zoom you out a bit because I'm going to start here. And now, so I'm laying that amount of paint there, but then I'm going to use another tool to add more paint because I want lots of paint on here. Oh, stupid cat hair in the paint. I take a cat hair in the paint over hidden paint boogers any day, right? Hidden paint boogers are the worst. All right, so now we turn this around this way. And take the tool out of our mouths. And I'm actually going to use... one of my micro dotters. I find that the micro dotters will help me pull paint a little bit further than the puncture tools will. Puncture tool is really good for cleanup. Geez, this paint is drying fast. The wonders of winter, eh? When everything is just drying so fast. So yeah, the micro dotter, it's a clay sculpture tool from Amazon. And it can work to pull paint a little bit farther of a distance than the puncture tool does. All right, so now we're going to this one. Going to be a lot of spin in here. It is the saying, you're 100% right. I got to listen to it. Got to listen to it. So we're going to do it. Big, big, big. We're going to go in every other space. And you know what? I'm just going to use this tool now. Not even going to bother with the other one. Oh, I know what tool I should use. I've got a dotting tool with an even larger metal ball with even bigger balls. And we need the big balls for this one. So I'm just kind of trying to coax the paint into the shape that I want it to go into. I'm not trying to paint with the tool. I just want to push the paint around. But you want to do it fairly quickly, and if you need to, and if it's kind of rough and ragged on the top, adding some more paint can help with that, because these paints do this wonderful self-leveling thing, and it sure makes a difference. No comments. Yeah, that was a hook. Oh, wow. Was it 2020? January 9th, 2020. Wow. I didn't realize it was that much longer. But that makes sense now. So I think my Instagram I started in 2019, and then TikTok started a lot later. That's right. Forgot about that. Whoops. I've got another set of the ball stylus tools, and one of them has, so this is from my double-ended tool set. This is the largest size that I have, but then on this one, big balls. Big balls. Here we go. It's like being live with Jenna. Yay! I will take that compliment and run with it. Jenna's so awesome. All right. So if you work fast enough, you can have enough paint to get it into the shape, and then go back over and add a bit of paint. If it's dried too much, then that can cause some problems, because it will, you'll end up pulling up some of the paint that's already partly dry, and that can make a difference. Now, I'm seeing that these swoops aren't as big as the first one, so I'm going to go back to that tool for putting the initial amount of paint on, and then we'll come back and add more as needed. All right, so we're going to go back to this tool. Still trying to convince her to do a duo live. Oh, that would be fun. That would be fun. Maybe someday. It's really difficult to do a duo live. It's hard to stay on top of the comments and not be talking over each other the whole time. But you never know. Stranger things have happened. All right, there we go. Now we should be good. All right. Oh, that's a huge bubble right there, I think. This can happen a lot, and so when you're moving the paint around, it doesn't always self-level as nicely as you'd like it to. And when that's the case, you can either add some pouring medium to your paint to thin it down a little bit to help it do that. This paint is fairly thick. Or just keep adding more so that you can kind of backfill and keep a real close eye on that so that you can kind of backfill. That's why it's so important to do it when the paint is still really wet, so you can move that around and it doesn't go all clumpy. If you try to move around wet paint on top of partially dry paint, that is a perfect recipe for paint boogers. Because as you're moving around on top of the partially dry paint and moving wet paint around on top of it, it's going to pull up some of that partially dry paint from below, and it's going to be all goopy and stuck in your paint. It's not fun. So try as best you can to be able to take advantage of the self-leveling part of all of this and deal with the paint wet. I just sliced into some homemade bread. Oh, nice. Oh, that sounds lovely, Sharon. What a wonderful thing to pass along to a family member. That's so nice. Mm-hmm. So I was saying earlier how the difference between painting on ceramic and painting on stone is a big difference, because it impacts how your paint moves on the surface, right? One thing that some artists will do is to put a coating of varnish over the base coat before they start painting their design. That can help them with removing any paint mistakes or fixes or changes to their design. It can help them kind of clean that up a little bit easier than when it's on a very flat, non-forgiving, porous surface. So consider that an option as well. I am going to give it a try with a Mod Podge matte varnish, because I want to see, I'm such a sucker for the matte finish. I want to see what that's like to do with a matte varnish instead of a high gloss varnish. So we might even try that on a live sometime to see what it's like painting on it. I'll get it prepped. We can paint that on a live. I bet it must smell good there, eh, Sharon, with that bread cooking? Fresh bread is just the best. I don't know much that smells as good as fresh baked bread. Fresh baked cinnamon rolls, maybe. Those would taste as good as fresh baked, or smell as good as fresh baked bread, maybe. All right. So take your time adding paint on, but also don't take your time because you want to do this while the paint is wet, right? My point there is it's worth taking the time to put extra paint on rather than having to add it later. There we go. And I will add a little bit more though, just to plump it up a little. Let's see. It does smell good. Oh, and she did a good job. That's so nice. Hey, Heidi, how you doing? Did she enjoy it, Sharon? That's so fun. That's such a nice thing to be able to do together. So Christmas ornaments are done for this year, Heidi. I'm so excited. So the reason I've cut them off is because I've been using multi-surface acrylic paints, and I let them air cure. So they need to air cure for 3 to 4 weeks. And so the ones that I had recently painted are going to be inventory for some pop-up markets. And I have come to learn about a varnish, Deco Art Duraclear High Gloss Varnish, that our friend Jenna J. Grons uses, and has shared that info, and it works really well. She's having great success for using it to not only coat the insides of her ornaments with glitter, but as a varnish over top of her paints. So it means she doesn't have to use multi-surface paints because the varnish will seal it, right? So in theory, I could have grabbed more ornaments and done more and got that varnish and continued to paint more ornaments, but I feel like there are some things that I wanted to paint. I needed a break mentally from ornaments, and I thought, you know what, let's paint some different stuff so I have a mixture of stuff at these pop-ups. And can I tell you, once they were done, I haven't looked back. I like looking at them. They're beautiful. I'm so happy that they have turned out as well as they have, but I am ready for a break for sure. And I am beyond absolutely tickled painting these candle holders. We've got 3 of them on the go right now. Once we're done these large swoops here, I am going to put this one aside, and we're going to grab one of the other ones. They're all in a state of needing to stop on a regular basis to let paint dry so that, you know, I have somewhere to put my hand or to grab onto and not smudge wet paint. So that's why we've got so many on the go. But it's been so much fun to switch to something different. And I think I'm trying to prepare myself because I know I want to start ornaments significantly earlier next year. I feel like I did a lot this year, and I'm really happy with what I did, but I also cannot ignore that there's a lot more opportunity at this time of the year that I'd really like to tap into, because it can help significantly for the success of the business, right? To keep things going in the new year. So next year I want to go super duper hard on ornaments. So I think the break will be very, very nice. And I don't think it's going to last as long as I would potentially want it to. Okay, I'm just going to scroll back and catch up here. Sorry. Doing well. Finally over the cough. Oh, that's so good. I'm doing good, Heidi. Thank you so much. So good, so fun. Oh, that's nice. I think I missed that comment. I'm so sorry I missed it, Terceal. Yeah, that's the thing, right? And I'm not going to be getting ornaments in the mail and to people for much longer, right? With the postal systems, both in Canada and the US, we're pretty pooched as far as being able to guarantee stuff getting there in time. So we're kind of right at that wire now. So I figured do what I can until like my cutoff date, which was it was supposed to be 4 weeks before my last pop-up date. And I finished a few days after that, but I'm really, really happy with what I've got to last me over the next month with so many pop-ups and not have to deal with shipping, right? Yeah, you would wait for it to dry. So I'd still give it a good I'd give it at least 24 hours to dry before putting a varnish on it. At least. Maybe even a couple of days, and then brush it over. We're doing tea light holders, Crystal. It's good to see you. How are you? So the pop-ups, thanks for asking. I'm going to be at Markets Ontario, the Bowmanville location in Ontario, Canada, It's a store that I currently rent a shelf at to sell some mugs and some keychains, and I've got some ornaments there right now. It's a maker store, so it's all local makers that sell there. And I am getting to do, basically, it's like getting to do 4 markets almost for free, because these pop-ups are at no cost to me because I'm already renting some shelf space there. So they are from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to be there Sunday, December the 4th, Friday the 9th, Sunday the 18th, and Friday the 23rd. So if you are in the Bowmanville, Ontario area and you want to come by, they are there. I did put the dates that I'm going to be there in my Instagram highlights, my story highlights, but I'll put up some posts as well about it. Yeah, I'm really excited. Thank you. Oh, thank you guys. So this candle holder is, this might look familiar from the bus colors. So the first thing I did with these colors, we did it on one of the lives for the inspiration deck. And this was the design that we came up with and played with the neon colors. And then after this, I painted a bunch of keychains, started the bus. This color combo will be continued on the bus when we pick that up again in the new year. And then when I knew I wanted to paint a bunch of candle holders for inventory for the markets, the pop-ups, I thought it would be really fun to try it on one of these. I'd like to try it on the same color combo on one of the flat ones too, just to see how they look different, because I think they'll look really, really different. But I haven't decided yet if that's the color combo I'm going to go for. It might be, but we'll see. So I love this one. It looks like a fluorescent iced donut or something to me. Thank you, Sassy. Oh, thank you, Cynthia. Thank you, Crystal and Heidi. I hope so too. I'm really excited. I'm really excited to get into these pop-ups. I think the ornaments are going to do really well there too. The ornaments have been selling very well. I want to thank every single one of you that has just been liking and commenting and sharing on the content that I have been posting and joining in on these, because I also don't know what the hell happened to my Instagram account, but I've gotten like 4,000 new followers in less than a month. I'm at 20, almost at 22,000. I don't understand what's happening, but I think part of that is my growth as well. I was featured in a beautiful blog by a new friend that works with virtual assistants, and she gives them a gift guide every year. And a mutual acquaintance of hers got one of my keychains, and she fell in love with it. So I don't know if I'm getting some traffic from that. Or just all the new Instagram followers, if that's coming from there as well. I don't know what's happening, but let me tell you, I don't care, because this has been a very successful month, and my whole goal is to try and get ahead of my bills each month, right? Like, I think we can all kind of agree that feels like security, right? If I know that I've got enough money in the bank to pay my bills a few months in advance, then I can take a little bit of a breath and not have to work out a fear of, oh my God, I have to make money, but be able to kind of start to nurture some of that stuff. And it's been, it's been a good, well, since the summer of 2020, it's really been since then, since I've been able to make ends meet on my own. And, I'm so grateful that, I'm living with my mom. That has reduced my monthly expenses significantly. And I am very excited to say that I'm almost halfway to not only to already having December's bills paid for, and it's not even December 1st yet. I can't tell you the last time that happened. And that's what makes me really excited with the idea of doing ornaments in a big way. Like, I hear about artists that Christmas season and the Christmas market season is where they make their income for the entire year for their business. And when I think of that, I think, oh my God, that's going to take a lot of work to make enough inventory for that to happen, and marketing and all of that sort of stuff that needs to be done for it. But then there's also the other side. I'm like, so you're telling me that the other 8 months out of the year, 9 months out of the year, you just get to sit and create, and you're not under the gun of how are you going to pay your bills this month? How are you going to pay your bills this month? So I'm really kind of excited at that idea. And I've got a bunch of other ideas that I'm going to go over soon in the new year too, that I'm super friggin' pumped about. But I got to flesh out some stuff on those and get organized. But the whole idea of that just sounds so fun to me. So the ornaments has been a whole big wake up call for me this year of, you know what, this is something that I can do really well and can be a really fruitful part of the business, you know. Now I'm going to, it does look lit up, eh? It looks like it's glowing in the dark already. So these are some of the ornaments that I'm going to have for the pop-ups. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of this one. This one's been sold and is just waiting to be shipped. I've got 8 of this one. I've got 5 of this on the black glitter, 5 on the black, and just a mixture of other colored glitter in there as well. I've got 11 on the white glitter. Then I've got 11 of these on the white glitter. And then I've got these beauties. And then I've got probably another 15 to 20 of the other ornaments that I have. So I think I'm going to have a really, really nice inventory for these pop-ups. And my mom said to me, she goes, well, what if you sell out the first day? I'm like, then we throw a fucking party. That's what we do. Like that. And she's like, well, you're going to have nothing left for the other shows. I'm like, but I'll have sold all of my inventory. That's fine. If that's the worst thing that happens, is that my ornaments are so popular that I am no longer able to do 3 pop-up markets because I've sold so much stuff, I'm totally fine with that. Perfect. No problem. Yes, I still have the bus. Let me grab it here. Ooh. It is nowhere near done being finished, but we are going to work on it again in the new year. So this is the bus. It's not finished. It's not finished, Heidi. I'm so sorry to disappoint. Yeah, it's definitely not finished, but here it is. I have a few other things to sell. I've got some mugs and all of that, right? But that's the thing too. If I'll let it all sell out. It's totally fine. Aw, thanks, Cynthia. So these are going to have a lot of paw prints all over them. And we're going to have paw prints in the center here. And we still have to go all the way around, do the other wheels, and do the top. It's gotten dusty. I'm going to have to clean it off before we paint it again. I love the trim around the bumper. Makes me so happy. All right, so I'll just put that over there for now. Thanks, guys. Yeah, it's exciting. You don't do Instagram? That's okay. Yeah, I didn't know what I don't know what the hell happened, but I'm excited. You're going to use your mug in my reels. Aw, Cynthia, thank you. I'm so glad you like it. I've been on IG for a year now and I can't seem to get to 2K. Yeah, the number of times that I have people say to me, so how did you get to 190,000 on TikTok? I don't know. I posted and hoped for the best. That's literally all I can say. It doesn't logically make sense. The only thing I've posted on Instagram, because I haven't been posting for a month since I got sick. I posted a few videos there when I first kind of got back at it, but I've hardly posted anything. Really, the only things that I've posted on Instagram have been my live recordings. So yeah, I'm mystified. Absolutely mystified. I have no idea how it happened. 2023 is going to be fun. What do you have on deck, Crystal? We might have to, I'm going to have to build a little small business collective that we all get together and kind of run stuff by each other. Cynthia and I are going to be doing some of that too. That would be so fun. Even just to sit and celebrate and say, oh my God, you guys, I had the best idea and I want to tell you about it because sometimes it's just nice to have people to tell about it that aren't going to, pick it apart sometimes. Because I find sometimes you need the right audience to talk about this stuff too. So thank you guys for being the one that I could talk about this with. I appreciate that. The white's pretty, eh? The turquoise and white on the black. It's one of those ones, Cynthia, that I wish that I had done more of those from the absolute beginning. Now, as of right now, I haven't been able to get any more of the glass balls, like the black ones, or the teal ones or the big blue ones like I had before. Our Michaels was completely cleaned out because they had all of the glass ball ornaments on for 60% off for Black Friday weekend. So they had nothing. I haven't been able to get more of those. Now, usually they get more in again before Christmas, so maybe there'll be some there. But they also had all of the clear disc ornaments. So all of these ornaments were on sale as well. So I picked up another 100 of these. So keep an eye on the sales at Michael's because they have some really good ones that make them lovely and inexpensive. Inexpensiver. Aw, thank you, Anya. Thanks, guys. So I have a few candle holders and a few incense holders to sell, and I'm planning on taking a TV tray, and I've got another couple panels that are prepped. I'm going to pick one of them and mix my paints and take them with me to the pop-up so that if it's quiet, I can sit and paint. And I figure that's probably a good thing for me to do anyway for people that are coming by and see kind of how I'm doing it. Right? That would be an awesome problem to have. Aw, thank you, Cassandra. That would be so fun. That's like winning the lottery, that idea, right? I had a dream when I went to do the craft fair at Haute Goat last year. I did an outdoor fair at a goat sanctuary here in Ontario, and I had a dream the night before. The show The Boys was filmed in the Ganaraska Forest, and I lived on the edge of the Ganaraska Forest when I lived on the farm. And I used to say, this is going to be it. For some reason, the cast of a very famous show series is going to be so bored with life that they're going to want to come to a local craft fair and they're going to see my stuff and they're going to buy out my whole booth. And I'm like, oh. Well, and then of course it ended up with me being friends with them and having celebrity friends, right? But it's funny where the mind goes sometimes to like, wouldn't it be cool? We have a whole different... Yeah, I'd like to win the lottery, but I'd really like to know what it would feel like for someone to just buy all of my shit, right? That'd be really fun. Yes, and I do have some mugs. I'm not going to be painting any more mugs for a while unless they completely sell out soon. They're another one. When I was trying to figure out what I was going to do after this, I'm like, okay, after ornaments, well, I could do mugs, and my whole body just went, ugh, no. I just needed a break from those two because I went straight from mugs into ornaments. I want to get back into using the gypsum and creating more of the candle holders and all of that sort of stuff. And sorry, Heather, where did I get what? I'm not sure where you were asking that, so sorry. Is Doris here? Hi, Doris. So many things coming and going in 2023. Ooh, very exciting. We will sit on the edge of our seats waiting for our updates. That's awesome. Oh, thanks, Heidi. Oh, you're so sweet. Thanks, Cassandra. Still figuring out what works, and that's okay. Yes. Yes. Right? It's always going to keep evolving. It's always going to happen. Things are going to need to change on a regular basis, right? And we have to try a bunch of stuff and figure out what doesn't work in order to figure out what does. I'm excited for you, Crystal. Let's have a great year. And that's a really good thing too. And that for anybody who is new, starting a business and starting to sell their stuff, really kind of feel that when Crystal says it's only been 4 years. That's not a long time when it comes to creating your own business, right? There is so much to learn and it takes so much time, but the trial and error of trying different things, seeing what works, figuring that out. Be kind to yourself and give yourself some time, because it's just, it takes so much and different ideas come and you got to kind of work with all of it. So don't expect things to happen super, super fast, I think is the point I think I'm trying to make. While I'm also trying to find my teal paint that I used for this color. I thought I had the paint bottle out here on the table. Nope. You're gonna kick ass, Crystal. Crystal makes the most beautiful candles, and she paints, and I'm sure she's got another million hidden talents that are just waiting to burst right out. I'm trying to catch up on comments here now. I'm going to ignore trying to find my paints for a second. You're going to paint at your event this weekend too. That's awesome. I hope it makes them want to buy more. That'd be fun. We should make a teacup with a grin on the bottom. Oh, that's a cool idea. That would be fun with the Grimm on it. That would be really neat. The hard part is getting the paint so that they are food safe after on the inside of something, right? Yes. I'm thinking in the spring, I really want to do things like, I want to do a ton of flower pots. I've got a whole bunch of them. I'd like to get back to some bigger pieces too. Candle holders. I'd like to make some indoor-outdoor candle holders too to start getting ready for outside weather. Yes. Yeah, I need to be more strategic on that. Oh, the bus. I got the bus at Michael's about a year ago. I'm so sorry. But if you Google wooden bus cutout, you might find something. Okay, thanks, Sharon. It was wonderful to see you, Anya. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out. Jump on Netflix before sleep. I feel that. That helps. Lots of love. Well, and that's the thing. It takes money to bring those ideas to life, and it takes time. And when the things that you are currently have aren't selling as well as you might like them to, it makes it even harder to stick with something and try to follow it through to the end. And sometimes it's not necessary to, right? Oh, they might be. Oh, no. I think it was the paint bottle that I was looking for. And it must be up on my shelf here. Because I don't think it was this one. Maybe it was this one. Was it Seabreeze? That looks a little light. Come on, Jamie. Get your shit together. I have a whole bunch of paint bottles out on my counter, though. Oh, shit. Oh. Seriously, though. Oh! I put it in the wrong spot. That's why I didn't find it. For some reason, I put it with all my neon paints. Come on. Here we go. Thanks, Patty. He started me looking for it again. That helps. You have a 2-day event this weekend. Oh, that would be wonderful. Let's send lots of good vibes to Crystal for this weekend. That's awesome. That's going to be a long weekend. You're going to be tired. That would be a wonderful problem to have, right? All right, give this a shake, and then we'll do a little bit more painting. So this is a Deco Art Crafters acrylic in turquoise. So now let's do some swoops. Tired just thinking about it and getting ready for it, I bet. Yeah, it's mentally tiring too. I'm always so afraid I'm going to forget stuff, and I always take, it's like going on a trip. I always take so much more stuff than I'm ever going to need. But it makes me feel so much better to have it there. Just in case, right? All right, so we are going to tip this up. And we are going to do some swoops, and we're going to come down this way. We're going to keep letting them kind of come down here, and then we've got some dots that we're going to put in here to finish it off. And then we'll just have a little bit of top dots left to do, and then we'll be good to go. Same 8 hours the first day and 6 hours the second. Oh my gosh. It's only your second market. That's a big one for your second. You're going to do great, Elise. You are going to do great. But that's a long couple of days. That is a long couple of days. I hope it's super successful for you and that you sell out too. Good vibes for Elise selling out too. It's like the ultimate dream, right? I walk in one day and someone walks up to my table and says, "I'll take it all." Remember Ryan Gosling told a story about that kind of idea on Graham Norton, I think. And he talked about how he bought all the Girl Guide cookies from someone selling them. And he said, I just thought I was going to go in and be the hero and be that guy. And turns out I'm just some creep with a bunch of cookies. He said, I thought about opening up my window and just giving them to other people. He said, but then I'm just this weird creepy guy with cookies. He said, I thought it was going to be such a nice idea to go and make some kid's dream. Like, I'll take them all. That does feel like success, though, doesn't it? To be able to do something like that. I'll take one of everything. One of the many things that feel like success. Thank you. You're the one who inspired me to actually do the markets. Yay! So, if you don't already, I always take a notebook with me, because I always find that when I'm sitting and looking at other booths, I get ideas of things that I'd like to do, and I sketch them out sometimes, or take pictures with my phone if they'll allow me to, that sort of thing. But I find that when I'm sitting there and I'm watching everything and all the interactions, I always get a ton of ideas. And it's usually about how I want to set up my table the next time. So make sure you've got some pen and paper there with you. If you're going to do a market, if you've never done a market before, if you're just kind of getting started, make sure that you have pen and paper with you. Or see if you can clear a little space and take something to paint too. People see you making. How far are your markets? Are they close to home? Crystal, do you have a long drive? Elise, is it nearby? I have lofty dreams too about what my market setup is going to look like someday. I love thinking about it. Going, someday I'm going to have fancy signs and fancy setups And for no real reason, but just because it would be fun. If you're from Ontario, if you've ever heard of the One of a Kind show, it's like a craft show on crack. And that's always been a big dream. Like, I wonder what it would take to go to something like that. It's an 8-day event. I think as a new artist, you can get like a 3x3 rotatable shelf in the new artist section. And I think for the full 8 days, it's about $1,000, which is pretty good, all things considered. But then if you want to get bigger booths later, like some of these other companies, I know they pay like $6,000 and $7,000 for the entire time. It's crazy. Oh, an hour away. That's far. Good time to put on some good tunes and enjoy the drive, though. And so you get to go Friday and set up. That's kind of nice. So at least you don't have to do that. About an hour. She inspired me a ton. Oh, I love you guys. My ego's going to get really big soon. I'm going to totally blame it on you guys. I plan on taking yarn. Excellent. Good. Yes. All right, now I definitely am not going to be able to do the other side without putting my hand in paint over here. So again, this one is going off to the side to dry for a little while. And now we can bring this one back in. So these are the 3 that we have going on right now. We've got this one, which is the Phoenix colors. So if you've already purchased my Phoenix pattern, this is the color palette from that, and I just took this same design. I added a couple little different things in here, and we're going to add some swoops in here now. This is my original Phoenix design, and if you are interested in the downloadable pattern for this, it's available on my website. Don't forget about you. I'm not going anywhere without you guys. Why would I ever want to be anywhere if you guys weren't going to be there? You crazy? Crazy talk. No way. Just like you don't get to go anywhere without me. This we're stuck now, right? You are stuck with me. That is for sure. All right, so now we're gonna do I never really know if I want to do them this way or if I would rather be down here and do them this way. I think I'm going to do them this way on this one. Let's see. You're stuck here. Fantastic. So glad. All right, so let's see where I'm going to do this. All right, let's try this and see how this goes. We'll know quickly. And we'll do these yellow swoops. Green, not even close to green. And then that will be the sign-off point for us for tonight. If you are a member of the Dot Mandala Inspiration Deck Facebook group, doing the live at noon Eastern tomorrow. For that, we'll draw a new card and we'll create something new. I'm probably going to do another trinket dish like I did last month. And now that the month, whatever we paint in that group, I always keep it within the group for the month. I did give a sneak peek of the piece, I think on the live yesterday. But I'll be able to share that one with you too, and it's super fun. Just doing my stuff and watching. I'm so glad you're here. Stuck like glue. Fantastic. Love it. That makes me happy to hear. We have a good time. We're going to keep having a good time. as much as we possibly can. Because that's the ultimate goal, right? The ultimate goal isn't to make a lot of money. The ultimate goal is to have the financial freedom to do more things that bring us joy, right? Or to take stress off and bring us more joy. So we're just going to focus on having as much fun as we absolutely possibly can and see what happens. Christine, my love, yes. How do you attach the ornaments to the clothesline? Okay, so let me pull this over here. I'm just going to close up my yellow paint and we'll go over and I will show you. So I have these little metal ornament hooks. Now, the reason these pieces of tape are there is because the metal on metal is kind of slippy, especially when you start putting stuff in the middle and everything sags into the middle and starts to slide into the middle. So I found that putting the hooks over these little pieces of tape just almost gave it a little something extra to grip onto, but I didn't space them out very well. So I'm just more strategic now with where I place them. Now these ones also are coated in that green. You can get them where they're just the silver metal, and I find those are slippy little bastards. And they, they're a royal pain, and they slide all over the place. So I used that and just kind of marked, just hung them over the tape where I could, or just pinched them as tight as I could for the rest of it. Good question. Thank you. JC, it's Jessica. Is that right? Did I get that right? Was that the code in your username? Watch some of your older posts. You should show your face once in a while. It's so funny that you mentioned that, because one of the things that I want to do different next year is I want to do my content a little different. I want to have some of these videos, of course, like the work in progress for the pieces and all of that. But I also want to do kind of like daily journal kind of posts. So I'm planning on showing my face a little bit more. Honestly, Jenna has been giving me the courage to do that. I'm like, look at how much she shows her face on here, and look at how much she's kicking ass. I want to do that too. And I want to get to that comfort level so that it's easy for me to do that. So hopefully, excellent, Jessica. Fantastic. I'm going to remember that because I love your username. That's a little code. That's fantastic. Yeah, just the little Christmas hooks. I put a string up and have strings on the ornaments. So yeah, I'll put ribbon through those ornaments when I'm getting ready to sell them, but while they're hanging up here, these little hooks tend to kind of keep them nice in there. And I found that when I even tried putting the hook through the ribbon, and it just made them all different lengths because I didn't cut the same length of ribbon and tie them properly, and they were way too long. You're welcome, love. Anytime. All right, let's see if we can get these few more yellow swoops done before we sign off for tonight. So tomorrow we'll start the new project with the Inspiration Deck group. And then I will be live again on, what day is it today? Wednesday? I'll be live again here on TikTok on Friday from 8 until 10 p.m. again on Friday. And then I believe Saturday is going to be Instagram. I used to do my Saturday lives from 1 until 3. They might be getting changed to 2 to 4. Now that my mom has been able to go up and see my dad, where I go every Wednesday to see my dad pretty much, and I think that Saturday is going to be the day for my mom. Now most of the time I'm going to be home because she doesn't stay up as long as me, but I want to keep that freedom there for her to stay as long as she feels good to do. So the Saturday lives will probably be changing to 2 to 4. But I'll put that on the schedule. It might already be what I did for this month. Or this week. I don't remember. For anybody who's new, I put my live schedule up once a week, Sunday or Mondays, and I go live 6 to 8 hours a week. That's something I'd like to increase as well. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. All right, let me zoom out. Not sure one has the same length strings, right? So putting it through the little metal bit at the top seemed to work really well and keep them a little more stable too, because they don't hang around as much, right? Oh, thanks for being here, Jessica. Thank you guys all for being here and hanging out with me while I paint. I'm happy to answer any questions that you have, and I thank you for showing me your art and sending me pictures of your art and just being a part of all of this and making this such a wonderful, wonderful online community and little family. So I love you guys to pieces. We'll keep working on these candle holders over the next few days, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you again Friday night. I hope you have a good rest of your week. I'm sending you tons and tons of love. Please take care of yourselves. And I will look forward to seeing you again real soon. Thank you for choosing to spend your spare time with me. It means the absolute world. I love you guys to bits. We'll see you soon. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Good night. Love you. Love you. You guys are the best. Okay, I'm really leaving this time. It's the long goodbye, right? Okay. Bye. We'll see you soon. Good luck on your markets this weekend, you guys, if I don't see you again before. Crystal and Elise, kick some ass.